What if this inspiring love story of the 21st century didn't begin with fireworks, but with a meeting at a law firm on a regular Tuesday? What if one of the greatest partnerships in modern times grew not from perfect timing, but from two imperfect humans choosing each other over and over again? This is the love story of a romance that did not happen in youth alone, but matured, strengthened, and evolved through life's most pivotal transitions. And for anyone over 50, their journey delivers lessons that are not just touching, they are life-changing. Romance with wisdom, love with longevity. Barack and Michelle Obama. In 1989, Barack Obama was a summer associate at the prestigious Chicago law firm Sidley and Austin. He was young, charismatic, brilliant, and lost when it came to writing a cover letter for an internship. Michelle Robinson, his assigned mentor, was no nonsense, smart, disciplined, and focused. She met Barack with professional rigor, and he later joked that those early days of mentoring were less romance and more persistence. Michelle later admitted she initially saw Obama as a cute guy with great potential, but not someone she would date. She told him, "Go get me," a moment she would later laugh about, but which also reflected her clear standards. If their story teaches anything at this point, it's one thing. Attraction doesn't always start as love. It could start with respect, boundaries, and clarity. Lesson 1. Respect sets the foundation. Respect isn't glamorous, but it's essential. Psychologists agree that respect, mutual regard for each other's goals, space, and self, is one of the strongest predictors of long-term relationship success. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships USA 2022 found that couples who express mutual respect during early interactions are significantly more likely to achieve relationship stability decades later. For people in their 50s, many of whom have years of relationship experience, this translates into a powerful lesson. Love grown from respect lasts. From mentor and mentee to partners in life. After months of mentorship, Barack and Michelle began dating in late 1989. Their early romance was not idyllic. Barack was pushing boundaries, struggling with career decisions, and trying to figure out his identity. For her part, Michelle was focused, mission-oriented, and cautious. Yet, rather than abandoning the connection when things weren't easy, they chose vulnerability. They shared their dreams, fears, ambitions, and doubts. By October 3, 1992, they married. Not in a palace or church believed around the globe, their wedding was a small ceremony in front of 300 friends and family in Chicago. A lesson here is subtle but profound. Love built from real-life decisions, not scripted fairy tales, is the kind that endures. Lesson 2. Real love is a decision, not just a feeling. The American Psychological Association notes that long-term partnership is driven not by romantic infatuation, but by commitment, mutual investment, and adaptive adjustment to life's realities. Barack and Michelle didn't fall into love. They chose how to love, especially when life got hard. The power couple in practice. Growth through challenge. The Obama years in public life were full of stress, scrutiny, and seismic responsibility. Yet even under global pressure, first as senator, then as president, their relational core remained remarkably grounded. It's been said that your identity is one thing, but your character is another, and character is what you show when no one is watching. During the White House years, they faced press scrutiny, criticism from all sides, security challenges, and political polarization. But they never presented themselves as idealized. Instead, they showed growth, unity, and sometimes even self-awareness in partnership. And that's instructive for people over 50. Life doesn't get easier as you age. You just become wiser at navigating complexity together. Lesson 3. Shared purpose is love magnified. Barack and Michelle never saw themselves as separated from broader purpose. Michelle's Let's Move initiative, her push for girls' education, and Barack's community work were not separate from their identity as a couple. Based on Gallup Global Well-Being Index research, it is largely true that people who pursue a shared life mission with partners report deeper satisfaction and resilience than those who pursue individual goals alone. This is especially compelling for those in their 50s. By this age, many have moved beyond the search for personal validation. What remains is a search for lasting impact that includes others. When two people align their life missions, something profound happens. Love becomes legacy. Ups and downs, how they made it through. No fairy tale is without conflict. Michelle candidly shared that early in their marriage, she felt overshadowed by Barack's rising political star. But instead of resentment, she chose self-reflection and sometimes tough honesty, not just with him, but with herself. In her memoir, Becoming, she wrote about moments of doubt, frustration, and even questioning whether the path they were on was right. But those moments didn't break them. They refined them. This aligns with established research findings regarding long-term couples, constructive conflict resolution, and relationship satisfaction, which shows that long-term couples who openly discuss conflict and growth outperform others in relationship satisfaction and psychological well-being across decades. Lesson 4. Conflict isn't a threat. It's a conversation. Conflict doesn't mean the end. It means there's something worth fighting for. For many people over 50, this lesson hits home. The conflicts you've avoided may be the same ones you now have the wisdom to resolve. The second act, renewal beyond the White House. After leaving the White House in 2017, the Obamas could have chosen to stay quiet. Instead, they launched the Obama Foundation, media initiatives, and ongoing advocacy for youth, education, and civic engagement. Michelle's transformation into a global speaker, author, and role model, especially after age 50, mirrors a pattern seen in contemporary longevity research. The Stanford Center on Longevity largely found that many individuals find their second curve of fulfillment not in retirement, but in reinvention and contribution between ages 50 to 70. For Michelle Obama, love never stopped being personal. It became shared optimism, shared mission, and shared legacy. Lesson 5. The best years of love are not behind you. For many people over 50, there's a tendency to look back at youth and wonder whether the best years of love, connection, or intimacy are over. But the Obama story reframes that question entirely. Love after progress is not past its peak. It becomes deep, resilient, and purpose-driven. At a stage of life when many are redefining identity, roles, and meaning, their journey offers a profoundly uplifting truth. Love isn't diminished by age. It is amplified by commitment, shared purpose, and the courage to grow together. Not because they were ideal, but because they kept choosing each other, even when life demanded more than either one could give. So, if you're watching this today, whether you are in a partnership, transitioning out of one, or discovering love again, Here's the takeaway. Love that lasts is not born from perfection. It is forged from respect, shared purpose, real conversations, conflict navigation, reinvention, and legacy thinking. That's romance with wisdom. That's love with longevity. That's a journey worth living, no matter your age. And that's a love story for all of us. Curious for more insights on beyond half-century living? Let's meet again on our other videos.